Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is Chili Games. I am back from vacation. I appreciate you guys being, uh, I guess just staying there. Anyways, we're back with the Tier 7 Soviet light cruiser, Ochakov. Now, if you're like me, when I saw that this ship was going to be the campaign, and this is my commander, obviously, if you want to stop there, whatever, I'm not going to go over too much. I was very skeptical how this ship was going to compete with Kutuzov and Chapayev. One, because basically the same kind of deal, light cruiser, long range, very fast fire rate, but in comparison, this has 4 or less guns. So I was kind of asking myself, why do we need this? Why is this coming? There's got to be some way that it is going to be cheeky. And anyways, I went into AI and I knew that something was up because one of my buddies had messaged me that something was afoot here. All the other Russian cruisers have 1/6 pin, basically meaning that their guns will pin 25 millimeters of armor. So with EOP, you have to pretty much spec it to pin higher armor thresholds. This is a Baltimore. This is with fully packed, no EOP. As you see, I am pinning the bow of the Baltimore, which is 27, meaning that this ship has 1/5 pin. It will pin 29 millimeters of armor. That is, I was kind of just like, wow. Like when I was doing this, I was like, you got to be kidding me. It's actually true. This thing actually has 1/5 pin. That is how they balance this ship into Tier 7, because outright, if it has the same kind of pin with Kutuzov and Chapayev, because Kutuzov and Chapayev need EOP to pin a Baltimore like that. So I was just like, that is how they balanced it. That's how they did it. So is this really a big deal? To me, kind of. The biggest thing is nothing was said about it, and these kind of pin values are a standard for a reason and a constant, and if you're going to change these, I would like a reason and I would like to know. It shouldn't just be, this was very under the radar. It took one of my buddies who is very, very diligent at the game to find this, and he told me, and I was like, no way, I have to test this and I have to make a video about it, because that's honestly, if they're just going to try and let it slide, that's kind of shit. Honestly, it should be stated. Whatever. Anyways, coming up, Jean Bart, I was laughing at this dispersion. Look at me pan over. I thought I was dead to rights. I forgot that my detection on this ship is kind of bad, 11.9 for me. So we got spotted. I was like, okay, Jean Bart's right there, and I just died laughing at this Jean Bart's dispersion. I was actually laughing out loud because this video or this game is very recent. I actually had this game like 15 minutes ago. Anyways, what you really need to know about the Ochakov, it obviously has the 1/5 pin, so you do not need to spec EOP. What does that mean? It means you get to keep your fire chance very high, and you get to pin all of the Tier 7 cruisers, except the Edinburgh bow at 30 millimeters, which honestly is huge, meaning that since you don't have to spec EOP, you can do significant damage to cruisers all the time with HE. It means you keep your fire chance high. In my build, running intuitive, it is 12%. Sometimes I split off of it for 15%. But with intuitive, obviously it tells me where the closest ship is, and that's kind of, for a radar cruiser, especially this one, it is very, very strong, kind of jack of all trades-ish type of deal. So you keep your fire chance, you don't have the debuffs from the fire chance with EOP, and you keep your full damage. That meaning that you are very, very, very scary versus destroyers, because I literally hit a Kagero for like 5k in one salvo, and that is every 5 seconds. Like, that's pretty scary. You have intuitive to tell you where they are. You have an 11.7 kilometer radar that lasts for 20 seconds, pretty standard in terms of just like the Chapayev. I like this ship. Obviously, because it gets the kind of maybe Russian bias buff of 1/5 pin for no reason out of nowhere. It's good. You don't have to spec EOP. It feels kind of like a Russian Munchin. If you know me, I like Munchin. The Munchin, since it is German, gets 1/4 pin, meaning that it's very small 150 millimeter guns can pin like 36 millimeters of armor, so it's kind of ridiculous. This feels similar. It has, obviously a radar, which makes it, in my opinion, better. So I like it. I have not had a bad game in this ship, actually. The only game that I have lost in this thing was a 2000 base XP loss, and that was, maybe out of like 8 games or so. This ship kind of does it all. It's kind of ridiculous. I think it's definitely more maneuverable than Chapayev and Kutuzov. You obviously don't have smoke like the Kutuzov, so there's a little trade-off there. But you do get, like I said earlier, the radar from Chapayev, and you get the 8-kilometer torpedoes that you get from the Kutuzov. So it's basically the child of Chapayev and Kutuzov. I would say the biggest thing is Chapayev and Kutuzov are pretty non-maneuverable. Turret traverse is also pretty slow. This is definitely a lot better. It has really good turret traverse, and obviously without having to spec EOP, you are kind of just this destroyer nightmare with your radar, with intuitive everything. It's actually, when this whole entire ship comes together as a whole, it's very scary. And it actually plays really well. I've liked it a lot. I've liked the maneuverability. I've liked the turret traverse. I've liked the fire chance. The radar is just as good as ever. It's a radar. So it kind of hurts me to say that I really enjoy this ship. I actually do like it better than Chapayev and Kutuzov, just because I've played them a good bit, and this is the more maneuverable version. It is, like I said, I love Munchin at tier 6, so for me this is pretty awesome. I do like it. Unfortunately, it does get the 1/5 pin out of nowhere, the kind of like secret balance that was told to nobody. So that's, kind of annoying, but overall I think this is a fantastic ship. If you are looking to invest in it, if you don't have Kutuzov, if you don't have Chapayev, Ochakov is definitely pretty solid. If you are not good at light cruisers and you get deleted often, you will get smacked in this ship. It has absolutely 0 armor. But for something to be said about that is, it was mentioned on a Facebook post that this cruiser is definitely like its sister ships. There was 5 planned, one of them with, I can't believe I'm saying this, 4x4 130mm guns. Obviously they are mentioning the sister ship to the Ochakov is the Smolensk, and 4 others. So if you know anything about PC, Smolensk is very, very thin, which means that battleships will struggle to citadel it because most shells will overpin. So on the odd occasion, you will find yourself being a little bit more resilient because, instead of getting smacked for citadels, you got overpinned. I would not play it betting on that. Obviously play it safe here. As we're trying out the AP here, obviously I spec'd into AP penetration because I like having that with light cruisers. If I can do 5k damage to a battleship like that, 2 to 5k at that range with this rate of fire, I think that's beautiful. So overall, it's say what you want. I think it is a pretty decent ship. I don't think we really need it in the meta right now. It's obviously, I posted the poll about the tier 7 DDs. I would love a tier 7 DD as the next ship, but I think it's coming. I'm not sure. Anyways, guys, that is my first really impressions of the tier 7 Soviet light cruiser, the Ochakov. I think it's worth it. I think it's a great ship. It has 1/5 pin, so don't spec EOP. Just go with it, and you'll be just fine. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Take it easy. Peace.